This is made on the road. I got it straight out. Hey guys, welcome to this video. Thank you so much for clicking on. If you've clicked this video for an in-depth review, I'll save you the pain. This isn't an in-depth review. I'm a little bit biased with this product because I've been using the Nord Stage 2 for like 5 years now. It might even be longer than that. I was a big Roland user beforehand. Nothing against Roland. The thing I love about Nord, and I'm so glad they've kept this with the Nord Stage 3, is how many buttons there are. Now most people would be like super scared of how many buttons there are, but I love it because when you get to know where the buttons are and what they do, you realise that the keyboard's just split up into sections. So the Nord Stage 3 has like organs, keyboards like pianos, electric pianos, Fender Rhodes, Wurlitzers, all those kind of things. The synth section as well, it has so many different knobs for different parts of effects, for envelopes, for attack times, release times, all that kind of stuff. So although it looks really daunting, when you actually get past understanding what each section does, I love it. We've also reviewed already an Akai MPC Live, which is a sample pad, and it's got a screen and not many buttons, and actually it's quite fiddly to get to where you want to get. I love this about the Nord, that you can just get straight there, and for live it's really useful that you can be like, oh, I need to change this, there's a knob for it just there. First difference between the Stage 2 and the Stage 3 I noticed was that the Stage 2, if you change to a different sound, it cuts off straight away what's already playing from the sound previous, which means if you're wanting to change between one patch to another really quickly, if you're playing live, it cuts it out, and I found that really frustrating because even if you've got like a nice reverb tail, it just cuts it. The Nord Stage 3 doesn't do that. I don't know why they didn't do that on the Nord Stage 2. The screen's a bit bigger and more of a digital screen, so you can see a bit more info on there, which I find really useful. Another great feature was that I think in every bank of sounds, there was like 20 sounds. I think there's only 10 now, but there's more banks. If you're trying to find a sound and want to get there quickly live, you can do that. It still has the same amount of live buttons, so the great thing I love about the Nord Stages is if you're playing live and you change and tweak some stuff, there's 5 setting presets. So if you have number 1 as being a piano sound and on a particular gig you want more reverb, it will automatically save that live. So if you clicked onto number 2, which you had preset as like an organ sound, when you click back to number 1, the effects and everything you've done on that particular gig are still there. I hope that kind of makes sense. It's really hard to kind of explain it, but it's a really useful little tool, and no other keyboard does that as far as I'm aware. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. You can split the keyboard into more zones. I think previously you could have 3 zones on a keyboard, so you can have like a piano sound at the top, a synth pad in the middle, and an organ at the bottom. You can now have 4 different zones. They've just extended that a little bit. They've doubled their memory. Nord Stage 2 had 1 GB and Nord Stage 3 has 2 GB. So many numbers. They have massively expanded on the amount of piano sounds as well. I think their biggest feedback must have been how just amazing, and I fully agree with this, how amazing the piano sounds are for the Nord. And they have added like loads. I think it's like 4 times the amount of piano sounds, and they're each incredible. My favourite sounds for the Nord have always been the upright pianos. For big productions I always use the grand pianos, but for the more intimate like ballads and slow songs, I love the uprights, especially the top and bottoms. You literally close your eyes and you could just be sat in front of a piano. A lot of people mentioned with the Nord Stage 2 that although the sounds sound incredible, that it still feels quite plasticky, the keys. Although they do feel quite plasticky, the weighting is quite different. The weighting is heavier and feels actually a lot like a piano. It feels like a piano that has quite thick felt on it. To anyone that is a pianist, I assume you all are if you're watching this video this far in. To begin with, I was like, oh, I don't know if I like it compared to the 2, but obviously I've also used my keyboard for like 5 or 6 years, so it's been worn in a lot. Another big difference is the amount of effects that you get with the synthesizer. So the waveforms. I think the Stage 2 you used to have analog sounds and like wavetable sounds and samples. And that was kind of it. With the Stage 3 you get oscillators, classic waves, formants, super waves, samples. I think that's it. There might be a couple more. Like there's loads more you can do with it. The joy of being in the city centre is it's noisy as heck. Overall, the effects, even the EQs, there's more like filters and things you can do on the 3 than you can with the 2. I just fly. I love that you can stick certain effects on certain channels, so I think you can separate like the effects onto say the organ and it won't affect the piano, which you could do previously, but you can assign the effects to all the different ones rather than just like one at a time. This is the same with the reverb, by the way. You can add reverb to like the piano and not have as much on the organ, which is really, really useful, because on the 2 it was just like when you had reverb, you just added it to everything. So overall, I think the Nord Stage 3, it doesn't look much different. It's got pretty much the same controls, but you just have a bit more control. That seems to be the main thing they've upgraded and the main thing they focused on, as well as giving like new sounds and much better pianos. I mean, if you're into pianos and you want a keyboard, this is just by far the best one. People like Kronos, I need to Kronos. People like Motifs. Me personally, I just love Nords for the piano sounds. So yeah, thank you PMT for letting us play with one today, and if you've enjoyed this video, please do subscribe. If you want to check out the vlogs and have a bit more of a chill and enjoy just us being silly and just travelling the world in this bus and see a bit more about what we do with that. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching, and until next time, remember, look after each other and never stop creating. See you guys soon, bye!